Good morning, and happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend and a great holiday if you celebrate. And we are back for another week of crazy trading, probably. Market opened up lower um, today, a pretty decent size gap uh, starting from last night. And has continued to just push lower and lower in each session, the Asian session, Europe session, and we are about 3 minutes away, 2.5 minutes away from the New York session opening up here, and we'll see which direction we head. Um, on the 15-minute chart here, you can see I placed my areas of interest, which may or may not have anything to do with today, considering we've um, pushed lower and lower and are a decent ways away. Not to say that we can't push back up to highs of the day. You can see here where the Asian session pushed up initially, went right to our area of interest based on our volume low from Thursday, and took a huge rejection there, and we just continued to push lower and lower. So, very strong area of interest here. If we do push up to it, I would probably look for a bounce off of this again, but we honestly may just continue lower today, but we'll see. We'll see what the market brings us. We got about a minute and a half here before New York session opens up again, and we'll go from there. I'm going to start a new series of videos I've been working on over the weekend, putting together a series of videos that's going to go through my strategy, but it's going to start from the basics, uh, you know, market structure and price action and things like that, because you really have to understand all of those aspects to understand what the strategy is and how to use it. So I'll be coming out with some new videos soon. I'm just putting the uh, the list of videos and things together right now, and then I'll start putting those videos together and releasing them, one by one. The series I think is going to be called The Strategy. And then it's just basically going to break down exactly what I see and how I use it to make my plans of entries and exits and things like that. So look forward to that coming out probably in a couple weeks, I'd say. I guess I'm just putting it all together now. All right, here's New York session open. Pushing up to pre-market highs for the New York session. We are and will be trading in the main account today. Has to try to get this finished. We need an $800 trade. That's it. So we'll see what the market gives us today. Again, we're going to stick with the same plan. We're not going to force anything. We're going to wait for uh, the right trade, A plus setups, you know, wait for confirmation for things, because we're not going to waste any trades here in the accounts so that we don't end up moving backwards. Obviously, the goal is to get this account passed, hopefully today, and then we can work on the second account. If I do get that trade today and we do finish this account today, I will not be trading in it until, the system catches up and we move over to the um, paid account. So we'll switch over to the secondary 50K account. We'll trade in that. We'll try to get that as close as possible also. All right, nice push to the upside here. Coming off of session lows. Looks like we're starting to get some resistance here. You can see some liquidity up here pushing price back down. See if that holds. Got liquidity on both sides here, honestly. Overall trend today is obviously very clearly down, but that doesn't mean that that can't change either. All right, sellers starting to step up here, pushing price back to the opposite direction. So pretty decent, strong rejection off of our liquidity up here, right up to structure here and got rejected. Okay, so that's pretty strong rejection here. It might continue to the downside at this point. Oh yeah, sellers are definitely moving in here now. So we've made new lows on the day now. New lows on the day and still looking very, very bearish. Just look out for your liquidity grab here, right? Don't get in too soon here. I'd like to see a retest. Yeah, see? Easy with your, oh, this might be the retest here, actually. Although that's pretty strong push back up by the buyers there. Okay, crazy, crazy movements here. Crazy 1 minute candle so far. So just be careful, right? We don't want to get caught in a fake out. Okay. The seller's still coming in strong, but we gotta see one of these candles close pretty strongly here. You can see buyers are still coming in here, still pushing price back up. Definitely got a decent amount of buyers down here, right? Buyers continue to push price back up once we reach our control here. So let's see if they can hold out. Sellers are holding pretty well too, actually. Some crazy volatility coming in here. The fight is on. So our 15-minute opening range here, you can see from wick to wick here. And we're right in between, basically. So kind of unknown as to which direction we're going to go here. We still got 2 minutes left for the first 15 minutes here. So that range could be extended to either side. So I give it a couple more minutes here to play out. Well, price can go in either direction still here, so not a good place to get into a trade here yet. We got to find some type of direction first. Right now, the buyers and sellers are happy where the price is currently. Looks like sellers are gaining a little bit of control here. This is our last candle in the 15-minute opening range. So far the range is holding. Bottom end here, top end here. A decent amount of liquidity on both ends here. Still looking for direction. Watch out for your breakout below. If we break these lows here from the previous wick, we might end up moving. Buyers are doing their best here to hold price up, but sellers may have it. Big influx of orders here. Huge. The tape is moving. So our candle did not close below the previous lows here. We peaked below and got a decent amount of volume, pushed that price right back up. But that doesn't mean that we aren't going to continue to the downside now, right? Whoa, look at that. Holy crap. These movements are insane. That's crazy. Buyers just came in out of nowhere there, huh? You can see the seller stepping up here, trying to keep price down. Can they hold? I don't know. We're just right back in the same range here. So be careful that, you know, the buyers may just be grabbing liquidity here, right? So just be careful. Sellers come in pretty strong here, pushing price back down. Okay, so the sellers stepped right back in. So buyers came in pretty strong here, pretty heavy, and the sellers stepped up each time, continuing to push price to the downside here. So we got to see how much longer the sellers can hold out for, or the buyers, honestly, see if they have enough. They're trying. Buyers are trying, but sellers look pretty strong right now in the overall. All right, watch for your dump here. This is now the third time sellers have pushed price back down to this price point here, right? So watch for your dump. Until we get a move one way or the other, we really still have no direction. It looks like sellers are in control, but don't be fooled because the buyers have stepped up before here, right? So the battle continues here. All right, again, pushing past low of the day. So be careful. We might get a flush here. If sellers maintain control, we might push and continue to push to the downside here. But again, don't forget that the buyers have stepped up down here also. Need to see a good, clean break to the downside if we want confirmation. So we're well outside of Thursday's um, session range, volume range, and then we're pretty much outside of today's so far also. So we're kind of like in no man's land here. Both the sellers and the buyers are coming in very strong in this area here. So there's really no confirmation in a direction yet. So just be careful if you're in a position. You can see that every time the sellers reach, the buyers step right in to hold price up, right? So one of two things is going to happen here. Either the buyers or the sellers are going to become exhausted and then price is going to move probably pretty rapidly in whichever direction. All right, sellers again pushing new lows of the day. Looking a little bit stronger here. You need a good solid candle here. It's not bad. Still making progress to the downside, but it's very, very slow. And if you look at the 15-minute here, we look very strong to the downside, right? But we have 2 minutes left, and this could change very, very quickly. So if we remain strong here, I would look for a retest of our liquidity um, below this structure here. So if we can get a nice retest up in this area somewhere, there we go. Looks like sellers are finally starting to gain control here. Mm. Let's try to see where we're headed. We don't really. So we're testing 18,000 is what we're doing now. If we break 18,000, we got a decent ways to go if we maintain that. But I would imagine that we probably, well, I mean, anything can happen, right? We can take a huge bounce off of the 18,000. We can just push straight through it and continue to fall, or we can consolidate around it, right? So those are really the three options that we have, and we'll have to see what price does. So we are most certainly reaching, there's 18,000 right there. So we just tapped 18,000 right on the nose. It looks like this 15-minute candle might close below. Look at that. Okay, so be careful here. So we closed below 18,000, but just below. So be careful for, either a quick bounce back or a quick continuation to the downside. Either way, we can't really do anything here. This was a good entry, um, but would have been very, very risky. It was a little bit too risky for me just because of the amount of um, liquidity that we had down here. And you saw how slow it was moving through this area. Um, and so that's why I didn't get in here. But if you look here, this is a really good setup here. You had resistance or liquidity here previously, push price back down. We had a nice strong push up back into this liquidity and immediately push down 3 times, right? So you had 3 tries by the buyers to push up here. And the third time, a nice bearish close here. You had a retest with the previous candle up to our control, which did not hold. And then the continuation all the way down to where we are now. Very slow, but continuation nonetheless. And on the 15-minute chart now, you can see we are looking very bearish. So like I said, we're either just going to continue to drop now, which kind of sucks because it doesn't give us anywhere to enter yet. I would like to see a retest at some point, but we may not get that. honestly. We may just continue to push lower and retest our 18,000 level because that's going to be a strong point there. On the 4-hour chart here, we're just about to break this wick here from what was that, last week at some point. And if we do, you can see that, I mean, our next support isn't until, I mean, goodness, 16.8, 16.5, I don't know, 16.7, 16.8. I mean, we have quite the fall here if we don't hold this 18,000. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, I mean, even on the day chart here, you can see we don't really have any other support in this area here until we get down to, okay, on the day chart, we can call it 17.2 maybe, 17,000. I mean, there's nothing between 18,000 and 17,000. It's quite the fall. We've already made a pretty decent move today. I mean, we're already down 2.3%, 420 points. And the New York session is just pushing lower and lower. Okay. So there's really not much we can do right now, which totally sucks, but it is what it is, right? So we have lots of room to move to the upside too. We definitely, if we hold down here, um, I would expect price to come back up to this structure here at least. It doesn't have to, right? Not financial advice or anything like that, but we have a nice strong move to the downside here. So price would normally like to retrace up to structure. If we just come up to somewhere in this level here, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're totally in no man's land here, right? So there's really you have no idea what direction price is gonna continue in here. Um, it's likely it can continue to the downside. It's also likely we can get a bounce here, right? So we don't know. We look at our daily volume so far. We are well outside of our trading range. You look at the 15-minute. This was Thursday's trading range, so our areas of interest are quite far away at this point. So can't really use those levels. So what I'm looking for is price to come back into where we had very strong liquidity before we moved down here. I'd like to see a retest into that liquidity there, but it doesn't mean that we're, what I'd like to see doesn't mean anything. It's clearly momentum to the downside right now for the sellers. The 15-minute chart, it's pretty large candles to the downside so far, so we'll see. We're starting to get a little bit of support here. much too early to say that it's enough support. I mean, we're not even breaking previous highs or anything yet, so basically just reaching back into bear market territory. Hmm. All right. We got a little sign of support here. All right, sellers are still coming in, pushing price back down. All right, got some buyers popping in too here. Okay. All right, last candle here in the next 15 minute. Still bearish because we have not broken any highs here, but you can see we definitely got some buyers stepping up here. Definitely got some buyers here. All right, nice. A little peak above there. Might have another leg to the downside here, so be careful. Yeah, the buyers tried. Nice volume spike here too on this push to the downside. Sellers are still in control for the time being. This is now a 257-point move since New York session open. So just be careful trying to continue to the downside. This is already a very large move. Got to be careful in both directions here, honestly. Yeah, we had just pushed past that previous wick from last week, too. So this would have been the trade of the day, clearly. Hindsight is always 20/20. And see, we're getting some testing here. So my issue here, we can see prices getting continually stopped here again by sellers and pushed to the downside, but how much further do we have left to go here? Okay. So we pushed through the liquidity here so far. I like to see that. That's nice. And we are getting some support here. We might be starting to change direction a little bit.
Order filled.
We're going to try for a long position here. Going in light with our position. Just 5 micros.
Order filled.
Oh, I guess I didn't move my stop loss quick enough. Let's try that again. Mm. I would have gotten stopped out anyway, so guess that worked out for the best. All right, let's wait for this next 15-minute to close. We got 2 candles left after this one. We're not really not showing any signs of at least not any confirmation of a reversal yet. So We did get a nice move here. We did break and close past our liquidity here. But let's see. Got some volume coming in here. All right, last candle here. These sellers are still holding price. Mm. All right, we're trying again here. Buyers are trying again. Definitely got some consolidation going on here. I don't know. Okay, here we go. All right, so we're starting to come into some previous liquidity here. Definitely want to pay attention here. So we're looking for price to break previous structure. Basically, the wick here, if we're going to possibly get a continuation to the upside. So we moved right to it. Okay, there we go. There's our break of previous structure here. Tapping into some liquidity again here. Last candle of the next 15-minute here. I don't really like the way it looks. Hmm. The sellers may still be in control here. Hmm.
Order
I think we're
filled.
going to continue. I just don't like the way the 15-minute looks. We're getting pushed down. Who knows, though? Who knows? In with a light position. Stop loss in a good place, I think. If we break these structures here, then, we don't know which direction we're going. But I'm thinking that we have some more downside, so try to grab some more downside here. Pretty bearish day, so we'll just trail the stop loss until we get to where we need to get to, or we get stopped out, one or the other. But I think if we break our lows here, I think we got a little bit more downside. I don't know how much more, but either way, looks like we're getting we got some liquidity here, but see what happens here. Honestly, I'm going to trail real tight just because I don't want to end up going too far backwards in the account. If we get stopped out with these small, tiny little losses, I'm okay with that. Now, let's see if we get another run to the downside here. We've already had a big move, right? The entire day has been a big move to the downside. The New York session has had a very large move also. So this is a very risky trade. So, obviously don't copy what I'm doing. This is a risky trade. So, I will be trailing my stop loss tight if we do break lows here. And we could just be, retesting here. Might get stopped out. And like I said, that's okay. This is a very, very risky trade, so I'd rather get stopped out at break even than, than take a loss.
Order filled.
Yeah, that's okay. double bottom here, maybe. So the 15-minute chart, you can see how we might be creating a shelf here. And that's the key word there is might be, right? We still could push down lower. What I do like is that we did push past the previous candle, but we just couldn't close past. We got pushed back down by the sellers. We got pushed back down by the sellers here. That's why I tried a short there just to see if we would continue, but we may be holding here. We got 3 minutes though, and a lot could happen in 3 minutes. I mean, this could just dump. See, we're still getting pushed down by sellers here. This is like a nice sell signal here, right? But being so close to the bottom here, I don't know if it is. So we'll just be a little bit more patient here. We got 2 minutes left for this 15-minute candle. Let's let it finish, see what it tells us. We may be bottoming out here, but very, very bearish day also. All right, I'm going to take a quick break here while this is... Oh, there we go. That looks pretty nice, actually. But let's let it play out. I'm going to take a quick break. All right, we're back. Of course, the last little stretch here of this combine is going to be the most difficult, right? That would be appropriate. All right, pretty strong rejection candle there. Moved into previous structure, moved right back out. Okay. Control has moved. You can see here we got a tight range now. We got buyers down here so far, and you got sellers here. All right, buyer stepping up again here. I think the buyers need liquidity. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do get a little push past lows here, but that might be the grab that the buyers need to flip around here. Right now, every time the buyers try, the sellers are just shoving them back down here. But we're holding this price point here, right about 17.9-ish. So it's a good sign that we're holding here. But I think the buyers are going to need a little liquidity to push up. Otherwise, we're just going to keep falling here. The 15-minute just looks a little bit more bearish to me. Mm. We get these decent pushes, but they just get knocked right back down. Mm, very tough call here. Oh, hey. Stay patient. Got a minute and a half left for for the next 15-minute candle. Let's see where we go. It's a 50-50 shot here. Truth Social notification. It's just JD Vance. It's all right. Mm.
The market is open.
It's influx. I just don't want this to be a liquidity grab here for the buyers. It wasn't the quick reversal that I was looking for there. So I don't know. I don't know. There we go. Still progress to the downside. We're still making new lows. So that's the problem is where we are is how much lower are we going to go at this point? We've already had a huge move to the downside today. And then are we going to flip? Tough calls. Tough calls. The problem is we do have a lot of room left to fall. At the same time, we've already moved a huge amount for the day. I mean, even the New York session by itself is a big amount for the NASDAQ. I don't know. It's hard to tell these days. It really is. I mean, there's been such huge swings that, who knows? So we could continue to fall here. There's nothing that says that, that we're reversing here. This still looks bearish. So, oh, I can't do anything with it. I can't. Yeah. The buyers just don't. I don't think they have. I don't think there's enough, honestly. I don't think there's enough buyers. But that's part of the issue, right? Like, sellers obviously are in control here. And at some point, we got to get to a place where there's buyers, right? But maybe not. In where we are right now, maybe not. Mm. It's very risque. Tough trading these days, man. I tell you, tough trading. This obviously was the trade of the day, but yeah. I mean, we could have talked ourselves into this, but I'm at this point right now where I'm talking myself out of trades, which honestly, I'd rather be there than be at a place where I'm just constantly talking myself into trades, right? That's a little bit dangerous. So, okay. So, more progress to the downside. Ugh. More progress to the downside. Still continuing to make lower lows, new lows on the day. Just watch out for another push to the downside here. What do we do? Just tap into orders there? Yeah, we do got some orders. Oh, some bigger orders there. The tape is moving so fast, I can't even see whether these orders are buys or sells, but there's some larger orders coming in now. Oh, it was 10 contracts there. I couldn't tell which one it was, though, a sell or a buy. It looks like, yeah, I don't know. These markets suck. Oh,
Yeah, so I needed to shower.
how was that?
It was good. But I needed to shower.
Yeah, I bet. Okay.
Yeah. It was good though. I'm gonna do it again. Take it back.
Oh, goodness gracious. The 15-minute does not look pretty, right? Look at this. Mm. Yeah, jeez, I don't know. Boy, we are just falling today. And where are we going? Where are we going? Nobody knows. Whoops. Is that? Yeah. Okay. Nobody knows. Mm. We have Tesla earnings tomorrow, by the way. Hmm. This is agonizing sometimes. Oh, why are we getting a little shelf here? Look at this. Oh, I like these. It's almost no volume here. That's not that good. Oh, man. All right. Well, we're down a little bit today. We're down $100. Good with that. If that's my loss for the day, totally okay with that. We're still at 52,206. So we're still only 800 away from passing this combine here, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to go much lower than we are already. Starting to get a little late in the day. We may finally be getting some support here. I don't know. It's just been so bearish today that I don't even know if it's worth taking longs, to be quite honest with you, because I don't know if there's enough buyers. I don't think that there's enough liquidity, clearly, to maintain any kind of movement to the upside. I mean, look at this. Oops. Throwing my mouse around and everything. Look at this 15-minute here. This is ridiculous. It's just been an all-around negative day. Asian session started here. You can see we had a little bounce up right to our area of interest and immediately got rejected off of that. And then we just continued right into the Europe session, continued into pre-market, New York session, and we've just been falling ever since. I don't know. I don't know. This looks like this is a really nice shelf here. You got some nice liquidity here, but are there enough? Is there enough buyers here to go anywhere with this? This is the problem that I'm having today. I don't know. I don't think I could. I don't know. I mean, we're creating a nice little shelf here. You can see the buyers stepping up here. Got a little bit of volume, a little bit of a nugget here. I just don't know if there's enough. I don't know. It's not like there's like any crazy news coming out either. And then the sellers just come in and just blow the buyers out of the water. There's just not enough. You can't go long today. You can't. I think that would be really, really risky to take a long position today, unless we see some kind of huge, you know, move to the upside here. I just don't see. There's way more sellers than there are buyers today. Obviously, I mean, unless we get down to a level where there's a whole bunch of uh, buy orders waiting. I just don't see a long position today. It's crazy. Every time we stop to get some liquidity, you can see there's a little bit of liquidity right here. Buyers were trying, and then the sellers just once again stepped right on them and said, "Nope." I think there's just way too much uncertainty. Um, for any buyers to be in the market right now. We're why? Before we had buyers, that's why we had such volatility because people were buying the dip. I think we're kind of past that now. Now people are worried. Should they be, is it just a dip? So that's kind of where we might be right now. I don't know. These 15-minute candles continue to close very strong, you know? So even the people using the platform here are confused. We've been like 50-50 for ever. Because the problem is we all understand most likely that there isn't enough buyers here, liquidity for buyers to move price up. But then also we've had such a large move to the downside already that, if you get in short, even with a decent pullback, how much further are we going to go? That's kind of like, you know, at least that's how my mind is working. Let's see. I mean, from today's highs to where we are now, it's 3%. It's 565 points. Let's do just the New York session. That's all day. So from Asia highs, let's do just New York session. The New York session alone is 358 points. It's 2%. So it's like, how much further are we going to go? But clearly, nobody's stopping it. I mean, we might have some orders coming in where we are from way back here, but I mean, we might be looking at these lows again. Finally, little teensy show of support here, maybe. If it can hold. Yeah. I think we're gonna call it. I think we're gonna call it for the day. I don't see how we can really take trades in either direction at this point. You don't know how much further down it's gonna go, and we clearly don't have enough buyers here to push price up either. So gotta go off of what the chart's telling me, right? Unless we get some kind of very quick, fast swing to the upside where buyers just stepped in, I don't see. I don't see how we could really take a smart trade today. So, all right. I think I'm going to be done for today. I'll keep watching it a little bit longer. Unless we get like some kind of, slow pullback into some kind of structure, maybe I'll look to take a short. I don't, unless I see something that tells me buyers have come back into the market. I don't think taking a long position today is a good idea at all. So, and then again, going short anywhere down where we are now is also pretty dumb because how much further are we going to go? So, if anything, I would need to see some kind of pullback into structure, you know, and then maybe you can catch a little bit back to lows or something. But I think that's going to be it. I don't want to risk anything else. Not a bad day. We tried. What did we try? Two trades today. We lost 100 on one, and the second one was break even. So not a bad day. Lose $100 today. No big deal. I'll take that. I'll take those small losses any day. Um, so I think we played it pretty smart today. We clearly missed a decent trade up here, a decent trade that would have been the trade, but it's okay. Live and learn, right? Uh, and then I mean we can call this one over here. Um, Possibly the problem with this one here, I guess it really wasn't a problem. This could have been a trade here, honestly, because I was worried about a liquidity grab here, seeing how we've held price at this point for so long here, and then we just very quickly moved to the downside. But what we didn't get was a very quick move in the opposite direction. We got this slow move back up to our control here, where all of our buyers and sellers were, and we got a rejection there. So this wasn't a liquidity grab based off of price action here, and we got a very nice rejection off of structure, right? So this could have been a nice entry here, pretty decent stop loss there with a small position, and then you could have added to your position, and you can see it's a slow moving trade. You would have been in this trade for a little while, but it moved, right? So this was a potentially missed trade also today. But that's okay, no big deal. I'd rather stay out of the market if I'm not sure than be getting in on something that I don't feel great about, especially being so close to passing this combine. I just not doing it. Not doing it. So I'll take today as a win, honestly, keeping losses very, very small compared to what our potential gains could be. Um, I'll take that. So that's going to be it for me today, everyone. Appreciate you watching. Happy Monday. We'll be back tomorrow morning for another session. Tomorrow, who knows what's going to happen? We got Tesla tomorrow. We got a couple other things. Actually, I'll just go run through them real quick because we do have some earnings. So tomorrow morning, we have 3M, GE, Verizon, Lockheed Martin, all of those in the morning. And then the big one is Tesla earnings after market close tomorrow. So, who knows what the market's going to do tomorrow? Who knows? We're going to be in this crazy market here for a little while, I think. So stay safe, stay cash if you need to, take trades that you feel really, really good about. Don't take anything that you're iffy about because it's just not worth it, right? Once the markets get over all this baloney stuff in the news and, around the world, there'll be plenty of time and opportunity to make money. So, okay. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and turn on notifications. I come on live every single day. And don't forget to join our free Discord. Link is in the description for that as well. We'll see you tomorrow.